Most welcome to next video in our series about the IBCA World Championship Moscow 1986 through my lenses. And as you know, I'm Jörgen Magnusson, current IBCA president, but long-term player in the IBCA event. My first event was actually the Olympiad in 1980. Then I was 13 years old. And I hope to play next Olympiad 2025. That would be my 12th. But the World Championships started for me in 1986, and we have followed my games, some of my games, and some other games also from the event. We left my games after round 7, when I managed to win as white against Dimitrov from Bulgaria. And we have discussed some of games where I played the English opening. And I thought it was worthwhile going through these games because it can also give some kind of ideas for how you can set up an opening repertoire, more like playing in a system rather than all the sharp lines. That was especially good for me in the 1980s, as I had limited access to books, and I had no coach and such, so it was pretty natural that I would go in that direction. And after 7 rounds, I think I was then on 4.5 points, and 2+, not too bad. Not too good either. But now I faced a strong player who was, like me, upcoming. Piotr Dukaczewski. He's born 1965 and I am born 1967. So we had played in the Junior World Championships. We were number 1 and 2, both 1985 and 86. I had managed to win both games with black in 1985. In the Dragon that I have shown on this channel earlier. And in 1986, in I think it was June or July something, during the summer, at least in Europe, I won a game in the Najdorf as black. But I also lost a game as white against Piotr in Täby Open, a tournament outside Stockholm, an open tournament for everyone, not for visually impaired only, in August, I think it was, 1986 also. So before our encounter in the World Championship, now in 1986, all games between me and Piotr were won by black. I had 2 against 1. So now I faced Piotr, but with the white pieces. Could I survive? Okay, we will see. This is round 8. It is an 11-round tournament. The World Championship at that time, it was 11 rounds. And Piotr, I'm not sure how many points, but he was also, I think he was ahead of me in the list. And he had great success in the tournament. That's for sure. So the first move I kicked off with pawn to Charlie 4. Pawn to Charlie 4. I had stuck to that in all white games except of the one in round 2 when I played Echo 4. Okay, Piotr, he deviated from previous games. I had so far faced Knight Foxtrot 6 followed by Golf 6. I have faced Golf 6 in the first move. Also by Berlinski and Chabarkapa. And here we have Charlie 5 on the board, the symmetrical English. I played Knight to Charlie 3, Knight to Charlie 3. And black played Knight to Charlie 6, Knight to Charlie 6. I played Pawn to Golf 3. Pawn to Golf 3. You see, I play yeah, more or less the same against not against everything. Against e6, d5, I normally went for regular Queen's Gambit or something. But yeah, against many systems I played Charlie 4, Knight Charlie 3 and pawn to Golf 3. Black now played pawn to Golf 6, so we face another fianchetto by Black again. So this makes it a little bit interesting to go through the games. I played Bishop to Golf 2, Bishop to Golf 2. And Piotr played a sharper move, one of the best moves in the position for sure. He played Bishop to Golf 7 first, Bishop to Golf 7. This is also a good move, no doubt about that. But I was a little ahead of time here. Here I have played sometimes pawn to Echo 4, going for this Botvinnik setup. But with Black not having put the knight on Foxtrot 6, it is not equally interesting, I would say. Black has a very flexible position, maybe can even play pawn to Echo 5 or go for Echo 6. So I fought against this setup. I wanted to have something more flexible. I can transpose easily to my Botvinnik setup if there is a convenient moment, but I started out with pawn to Alpha 3. Pawn to Alpha 3. Yeah, what is this, you can ask. Yeah, I want to play Bravo 4 pretty soon. And if Black plays, let's say, Knight Foxtrot 6 and turns to these kinds of setups that I had against Chabarkapa and Berlinski, pawn to Alpha 3 also often fits into those systems. So then I might continue with my plan for pawn to Bravo 4 quickly, playing Rook Bravo 1 maybe, but I could also play Echo 4, Knight Golf Echo 2 castles, Rook B1, and you would have a scenario similar to what you have already seen in Magnusson-Berlinski and Magnusson-Chabarkapa, and also Magnusson-Dimitrov, but there Black had played pawn to Echo 5 earlier. Let's see what Piotr does. He does something more interesting. He played pawn to Echo 6. Pawn to Echo 6. Yeah, it's an interesting move, for sure. And Black stays pretty flexible. He wants to keep the bishop on Golf 7 unhindered. Maybe planning to play Knight Golf, Echo 7, and then, yeah, maybe soon, later on, Delta 5, for example. It's clearly a respectable line. I played Rook to Bravo 1. Rook to Bravo 1. Aiming for my Bravo 4 push. Here, honestly, I'm not sure what theory says these days. Yeah, I had to refresh my memory a little bit. After Rook Bella 1, at least Stockfish 17, after running just a little while, just on 10-20 seconds, but on a very fast computer, recommends Alpha 5 to stop Bravo 4, or Knight Golf Echo 7, and after Bravo 4, Black should play pawn to Delta 6. But White has a slight edge, but not much, 0.08 pawns or something. So it is not at all an opening that gives White the edge, but it raises questions that Black now has to respond to. Here, Piotr played a perfectly logical move. If you think that Bravo 4 is a threat, maybe you don't want to play Alpha 5, because that would create a weakness on Bravo 5. It's perfectly understandable that black is not so keen on that thing. And to allow Bravo 4 play Delta 6, yeah, okay, then you have accepted a somewhat more cramped position. And that is, Piotr was at least, still is, I think. We haven't played since 2005, that was the last encounter we had, I think. But he was known for being a very strong attacking player. So taking a slightly worse position where you stand pretty passively was not something that I think he was interested in. So he played logical developing move. He played Queen to Echo 7. Queen to Echo 7. And that, yeah, develops a piece and controls Bravo 4, it seems. But it also comes with a cost. The knight actually belongs on Echo 7, not the queen. So the idea with Echo 6 was not to play Queen Echo 7, it was to play Knight Golf Echo 7. And now the knight has to look for another square that probably will be Hotel 6 or Foxtrot 6. But more important is that it actually doesn't stop Bravo 4. I pushed it nevertheless. Pawn to Bravo 4 was my move. Pawn to Bravo 4. This is a very thematic, pretty common pawn sack in many lines in the English opening. And it is a pawn sack that, yeah, it is dangerous to accept it. That's for sure. Black instead played Knight Foxtrot 6. Knight to Foxtrot 6. Had black instead captured, Charlie takes Bravo 4. I take back with the alpha pawn. Alpha takes Bravo 4. Knight takes Bravo 4. White then would get very, very strong compensation, very good compensation after Knight to Bravo 5. Knight to Bravo 5. Threatening Knight Charlie 7. Check. With a fork. And if the knight, for example, would retreat from Bravo 4 to Alpha 6 to protect Charlie 7, then white has moves like Bishop to Alpha 3. And white can play those positions pretty slowly, actually. Moves like Delta 4 would come, Knight Foxtrot 3 maybe, castles kingside, and Stockfish shows that this is big advantage for white. And you simply have better piece positions and piece placements and space advantage as well. So it is very difficult to play such a position for a human, even for an engine. So Knight to Foxtrot 6 was probably a better move to play. But now, if we think of the ideology, if I may say so, the underlying thinking of the English opening, it resembles a bit the Sicilian, of course. You want to come out with your Charlie pawn to take some control of central squares, but you prefer then to expand so a bit slowly in the center, but taking it over by reducing black's pawns that stand closer to the center. And here we have this case with the pawn on Charlie 5 and the pawn on Bravo 4. Of course, as player of the English opening, I like to capture on Charlie 5, so I actually increase my domination in the center, although the expansion, if it all happens, will follow later on. So, Bravo takes Charlie 5. Bravo takes Charlie 5. And black recaptured. Queen takes Charlie 5. Queen takes Charlie 5. here the engines, the Stockfish recommends, I think it was knight Bravo 5 here as well, or pawn to Alpha 4. Stockfish very much favors playing on the dark squares here, and that is probably what I should have done. Stockfish doesn't bother about protecting the pawn on Charlie 4 at all. So a move like pawn to Alpha 4, it comes with the ideas like knight Bravo 5, bishop to Alpha 3, and that is a clear edge for white. But I played pawn to Delta 3. Pawn to Delta 3. Not such a bad move, not a blunder at all, but now I think that black is almost out of danger, because it's a bit too slow. Bravo 4 is better combined with a bit tougher approach. But Piotr played castle's kingside, no problem about that. And here I made another small inaccuracy. I played knight to Foxtrot 3. Knight to Foxtrot 3. And how can I say that this is an inaccuracy? Yeah, it is because black here could have gained a slight edge by pushing pawn to Delta 5. Pawn to Delta 5. I must have underestimated this move. It's not much. It's 0.1 pawns up for black. But at least it is no problem for black. Black is out of the woods. At the same time, black has to check up responses like Rook Bravo 5, putting pressure on Delta 5 and so on. So it is also not so weird that black didn't play it. Instead, Piotr chose a more aggressive move. Knight to Golf 4. Knight to Golf 4. Opening the diagonal to Charlie 3, so he threatens my knight on Charlie 3, as well as attacking Foxtrot 2. But luckily enough for me, I can cope with both these threats with one move. Knight to Echo 4. Knight to Echo 4. And now it is actually black who is on the back foot in the battle. Because now the knight has come to a square, not Bravo 5 this time, but Echo 4. But from there, you also take control over the important square Delta 6. And even better, you can play pawn to Charlie 5 to get a grip on the dark squares. So black played queen to Echo 7, queen to Echo 7, and I push Charlie 5. Pawn to Charlie 5. Here I thought I had a clear plus, and that is actually true, but it's this position is more critical than I thought. It's such a big difference when you 38 years later check up the games with Stockfish and so on. You learn a lot. That's fantastic. But you also see how much you didn't understand, which is, yeah, a nice thing, I would say. Because then I learn more. So I usually like it. But yeah, black played pawn to Bravo 6, pawn to Bravo 6. And here I soon come to the reason why I said that the position is far more tricky than I thought of. I played the very natural pawn to Delta 4. Pawn to Delta 4. And I thought that cements my control over the dark squares. It's a very natural move. It also shortens the diagonal from the black bishop. Also a good thing. But yeah, it opens nevertheless. I think I should here have gone for something like alpha 4, maybe hotel 3. Alpha 4 often comes with the idea to reply with bishop alpha 3 if black plays bravo takes Charlie 5. I don't remember exactly what Stockfish suggested, actually, I must admit. Yeah, sorry for that, I'm a bit more forgetful. I blame it a bit on the chemotherapy effect. I checked it before I went through the game. But here, black should have played directly bravo takes Charlie 5. And if I then recapture, delta takes Charlie 5, bishop to alpha 6 actually gives black a clear edge. It didn't dawn upon me at all that black can play the position letting even a knight stand on delta 6, but if he can complete development, play rook foxtrot bravo 7, he is actually for choice. But it's also interesting to note that bravo takes Charlie 5 is only move in this position. It's not so easy to understand that the position is so critical to its nature. At least it didn't dawn on me. So, luckily for me, Piotr pushed foxtrot 5 instead. And now tables are turned completely. You see, I have missed opportunities earlier on after queen takes Charlie 5, playing knight to bravo 5, which would have given me an advantage and about 3 pawns, according to Stockfish. Now I played some pretty natural moves, but I played it too tamely, too lazy, and not understanding the kind of position that if black gets dynamic counterplay here with the pieces, they stand on good squares, so if I let him get out with it, then I face trouble, because I'm also a bit lagging in development. I have the rook on bravo 1, knight on echo 4, fox to 3, bishop golf 2, but I haven't castled, my queen is on the initial square, and I have an undeveloped bishop on Charlie 1. So I should have been far more humble about my chances. But alright, being humble is not the thing I am most commonly. So foxtrot 5, he attacks my knight, but it actually helps me, it gives me time. So I played knight delta 6, knight to delta 6. The best move, in parentheses, would have been bishop golf 5. That would have secured a clear edge, but I still now have the upper hand, because I gained some valuable time here, and black weakens his position a bit. Knight to delta 6 was played. And black played bravo takes Charlie 5, bravo takes Charlie 5, and I played delta takes Charlie 5, delta takes Charlie 5. And here, black doesn't get the same time for counterplay with, for example, bishop to alpha 6. The tempo I gained helps a lot, because I have possibilities to meet such a development move by, for example, queen to alpha 4. So such small nuances, the move order here, and spending a tempo on foxtrot 5, helping me to get to the square where I only anyway wanted to go, that cost a lot for black. But I think this was beyond both mine and Piotr's understanding at the time. At least I know it was beyond my understanding of the position. Black went pawn to echo 5, and this is maybe the decisive mistake, or I would say it is decisive mistake, because now black is completely lost. You see how quick it could go for both of us to throw away promising positions, both of us, but also now, I had a 1 position, up 3 pawns. after Bravo takes Charlie 5, Queen takes Charlie 5, I blundered and I got in some trouble. But now White is absolutely winning. And then it's not just I'm up a pawn or something. According to Stockfish, I'm up 3-4 pawns at least. Pause the video and have a look. What would you do? And I'm proud to say I actually found the move during the game. Pawn to Echo 5. Let's go back to the principle. How should we think? What does the move do? It takes space in the center. It blunts the bishop on Golf 7. That's another thing. But maybe most important, it weakens the square delta 5. So here, despite maybe the most natural would have been to play Castle's king side or something, I spotted the move that decides it all. Knight to Golf 5. Knight to Golf 5. And now we see that now we have threats like Bishop to Delta 5 coming up. Even Queen to Bravo 3 check coming up. And the Knights together cooperate very well. They coordinate in controlling Foxtrot 7. Putting up threats that Black cannot do anything about. And here we again have to note that those very innocent looking lines in the English opening. What happened? After Queen Echo 7, I could push Bravo 4, and after a while, after Bravo takes Charlie 5, Queen takes Charlie 5, I was winning. Had I seen Alpha 4 or Knight Bravo 5 followed by Alpha 4. But Black countered, and I played too slow, and then I could have been in some trouble. Not lost by any means, but Black could have a slight edge. But now we have a position where White is again up 4 pawns. So you can see how the understanding of the position is so much more important than if you play it sharp. Should you say that this is a sharp opening? Is it positional or strategic? I would say it is both. It's very difficult. It's a combination of it. Those things can occur out of very, very innocent looking openings. So, okay, shut up Magnusson, go on in the game. Black played Bishop to Foxtrot 6. Bishop to Foxtrot 6. At least trying to give the king a square on Golf 7. It followed Bishop to Delta 5 check. Bishop to Delta 5. And Black played King to Golf 7. King to Golf 7. Yeah. And I could actually just jump in with the horse. Knight Golf to Foxtrot 7. Knight Golf to Foxtrot 7. And now we see a problem with the knight on Golf 4 actually. It has no squares. Because both my bishop on Charlie 1 and the knight on Foxtrot 7 covers the square Hotel 6. That is one of the problems Black faces. So I have a threat, and that is simply pawn to Hotel 3. Black can, of course, push Echo 4 to get access to the square Echo 5 for the knight. But maybe now I just take it out of my mind right now. I think I have two interesting lines here, at least. Pawn to Hotel 3 looks interesting, because if the knight goes back to Echo 5, I can throw in Bishop to Hotel 6 check. Bishop to Hotel 6 check. And then the king must retreat to Golf 8, and I can, if nothing else, pick up the knight. Knight from Foxtrot 7 takes Echo 5 check from the bishop on Delta 5, and I am simply up a piece winning, of course. So other things that might come to mind is, could black then after my knight golf to fox to 7, maybe try to block my pieces a little bit, playing golf 5 himself, so that the knight could retreat. Yeah, it might be possible, but it also comes with a cost, of course. I think there are two ways. I'm not sure which one I thought of during the game. It's so long ago. But when I sit here and think, Hotel 3 looks pretty dangerous for black. If the knight retreats to Hotel 6, we can swap knights there. Knight takes knight and king takes Hotel 6. Remember, the pawn is on Golf 4 now. But then white can push Hotel 4 with the pawn, opening files against black's king. The pawn on Golf 5 is pinned by the bishop on... now I see an even easier way. Hotel 4 is not necessary at all. When the king is on Hotel 6, I could even have done it immediately. After Golf 5, I had knight takes Foxtrot 5, check, and forking king and queen. So I didn't need this Hotel 3. So I should have prepared myself better. Apologize for that. So knight golf fox to 7. You see what problems black has in the position. Black played rook takes foxtrot 7. Rook takes foxtrot 7, which is a very understandable move now when we have discussed a little bit what problems black faced. And I played bishop takes foxtrot 7. Bishop takes foxtrot 7. I didn't want to take with a knight right now. If nothing else, I think it must have been because of queen takes Charlie 5, giving up a lot of the dark square control and maybe bluing it all actually. So instead, black now played a pawn to echo 4. After my bishop takes foxtrot 7, followed pawn to echo 4 for black. Now giving some space for the knight, bravely standing on Golf 4. And I played queen to delta 2. Queen to delta 2. Yeah, there were many other moves. Stockfish recommends that was slightly better maybe. But this also keeps white with an advantage of more than 3 pawns. Up the exchange, and now if the knight disappears from Golf 4, I had queen to Hotel 6 check in mind. Could be interesting. Well, queen to delta 2, we can see also that it also keeps an eye on the queen side. Black played bishop to alpha 6. Bishop to alpha 6. And I played bishop delta 5. Bishop to delta 5. Black played rook to foxtrot 8. Rook to foxtrot 8. Yeah, it's a natural move. According to the engine, it is the best move also. Unpinning also the knight from Charlie 6. So, yeah. The opening and the middle game position simply was very, very tricky. So I must say that Piotr didn't do a bad game. It was simply a position that neither he nor I mastered. Although, yeah, to be fair, it seemed like I came out on top. Maybe I mastered a little bit better anyway. But looking at it now, these positions seem far richer than I remembered them to be. And yeah, it encouraged me to have a look at them. I hope it will be encouraging for you as well. Okay, stop with the blabbing, Master Magnusson. I played bishop takes Charlie 6. Bishop takes Charlie 6. And black recaptured. Delta takes Charlie 6. Delta takes Charlie 6. And you might wonder, why did I give away this proud bishop on Delta 5? Yeah, you don't do it gladly. And you more or less just do it when you see some concrete follow-up, and I did. I played queen to alpha 5. Queen to alpha 5. Attacking the bishop that just had got some breathing on alpha 6, but now it's put back into the box. Bishop to Charlie 8. Bishop to Charlie 8. Where else could it have gone? My knight on Delta 6 covers Charlie 4. Yeah, and could have gone to Bravo 5, but then I would just have taken it. Or played Alpha 4. Even better. So, Bishop to Charlie 8, and I continue now just swapping pieces, transferring to simplified position where I am up material. Rook to Bravo 8, Rook to Bravo 8, attacking the bishop. Black defended, Queen to Delta 7, Queen to Delta 7, and I swapped pieces. Rook takes Charlie 8, Rook takes Charlie 8. Black recaptured, Rook takes Charlie 8, Rook takes Rooks, that means. And I take Knight takes Charlie 8, Knight takes Charlie 8, and Black Queen takes Charlie 8. Queen takes Charlie 8. And yeah, the position is of course completely uninteresting now, but as it is just a few moves remaining, please bear with me for showing the rest of the moves. I played Queen takes Alpha 7 check. Queen takes Alpha 7 check. Black played King to Hotel 8. King Hotel 8. And I finally castle. Castle's kingside. Castle's kingside. Yeah, that was psychologically also a very good feeling to get my king into some security. Black played Queen to Delta 8. Queen to Delta 8, activating the pieces as much as it goes. I played Bishop Foxtrot 4. Bishop to Foxtrot 4. Yeah, and here I invite even to exchange our queens by Queen to Bravo 8, if nothing else. I mean, I'm an exchange, and I think a pawn up as well. Black played Queen to Delta 4. Queen to Delta 4. Drumming up some activity. I played Queen to Foxtrot 7. Queen to Foxtrot 7. And as often happens in lost position, a player who has played many good moves in difficult positions often then happen to commit quite an easy blunder. He played Queen takes Charlie 5. Queen takes Charlie 5. And okay, I actually was threatening Queen to Foxtrot 8 also. Checkmate in this position. So it was not much to do. Maybe Black could have retreated Queen Delta 8 or something, but yeah. I don't blame Piotr for this. I played Pawn to Hotel 3. Pawn to Hotel 3, and Black resigned. If nothing else, the knight has to move, and then I capture on Golf 4. The knight has to move, and then the bishop on Foxtrot 6 would be hanging. Yeah, of course, one could always think of other lines as well. After Hotel 3, Black maybe could push Golf 5, hoping that would help, but I can even retreat the bishop to Charlie 1 if I so wish, and the problem remains. Two pieces are hanging, both the bishop on Foxtrot 6 and the knight on Golf 4. But yeah, there are even other lines I could have played. after Gol5, I could, if nothing else, I could just take it, then take on Gol4, then play Rook Bravo1, go down to Bravo8 with the Rook trying for checkmate like that. Yeah, the game is over. So, I thought it was interesting to see anyway, we have had a kind of thematic part in this series about how I played against the fianchetto setups against the English opening, and I might threaten to get back to you on that topic a little later on, because I had some success with it in the Olympiad 1988. But for now, what we can take here, remember, when black has put the pawn on Echo 6, and you have played Alpha 3, look for these pawn sacrifice that I played with pawn to Bravo 4, and playing for compensation on the dark squares. It's not at all easy to play against this for black, so black would better have played Alpha 5 or avoided taking on Bravo 4 and played pawn to Delta 6, but kept the knight on Echo 7 instead of playing queen on Echo 7. That was the other error that black committed in the opening, because the queen was just booted around. It was on the wrong square. It needs to be closer to the Charlie 7 square. But then, playing knight Golf Echo 7, and then when I play Bravo 4, black must be willing to take a slightly passive position, playing pawn to Delta 6. And that is not what everyone wants when you play a quite ambitious setup like Piotr did in this game. Piotr went on to play some fantastic games. I have already shown his game against Krylov, and he actually shared the first place in the tournament on 8 out of 11, whereas I only ended up on 7.5 out of 11, which gave me the 4th place in the tournament, which I was positively surprised by, I must say. I had big difficulties against the Soviet players. That was my weakness for quite a while, especially in my teens. For some reason, I could compensate that winning other games, but I deservedly was, although slightly, but a little bit out of the medals. But I don't continue to talk about the tournament right now. I will, in what follows, show Piotr's victory against Dobertsin from GDR, and also a very interesting game by a fantastic personality, Graham Lilly, and then I will end it all up with my game against another very interesting attacking player, Ivan Novak, from, at that time, Czech Republic. So, I hope that you have enjoyed the video. Smash the subscribe button and like the video. Smash these buttons is of course something, if you have heard other videos on YouTube or other places, you would have recognized that it is from Hikaru Nakamura that usually ends the videos like this. But really do support the channel in these ways, share the video if you like, so that we can reach out with accessible chess material for more players. Thank you.